Greetings to you in the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and this is your host, Dr. SHAMIN EABENSON. I have good news for you. Let not your heart be troubled. Let not your heart be troubled. Let not your heart be troubled. In this life, you might get a lot of heartaches. You might suffer some backstabbings. Maybe a lost relationship. Maybe a lost life. Maybe you have lost something that was so dear to you. Maybe you're heartbroken. Maybe there is nobody to console you. Maybe there is no replacement. But there is hope. There is hope in Jesus. We have a loving God who loves you. He is able to mend the brokenhearted. And it is God who says to us, let not your heart be troubled. Let not your heart be troubled. We have a loving Father who cares for us. So He is a compassionate God. He can sympathize with us. He knows us. So the God who created you, He can also recreate you. Whatever situation you're going through in your life, whatever be the problem that you're going through in this day and time, my dear friend, I have good news for you. Let not your heart be troubled. The Bible, when you look, each and every instance, people have gone through heartbreak. They have gone through troubled situations in their life that has caused a pain in their heart. But still, they sought the face of the Lord, who answers us when we call unto Him. Look at the instance of Abraham, who was going through a life situation that was challenging. He was quite old, but still he did not have a child. So that was worrying him. So that was his biggest heartache. So, of course, as any human being, he would have been heartbroken. Maybe he would have been tempted to become troubled in his heart. But he looked upon the Lord, and the Lord looked upon him, and He granted him a child. So at this extremes of age, God was able to do a mighty miracle in the life of Abraham. So, if you're going through a similar situation, what I have to tell you is, let not your heart be troubled. He can give you a child, even at the extremes of age, because He is a good God. So, you are no longer barren. You will be fruitful in the name of Jesus. Let's look at the life situation of other people in the Bible. Moses. He was a small child. When he was born, people were looking to kill him. His mother took a big chance. They hid the baby. Then finally, they had to transport the baby through the river Nile in a basket. So that's a difficult situation. That's a situation that breaks the heart of a mother to be separated from a child. She did not want the child to be killed by the soldiers. So she took a big daring risk. It was a risk and ultimately paid off. The child landed up in the safety of a princess. And the child grew up in the palace of the Pharaoh. The mother and the sister of Moses, they got the chance to look at the baby and take care of the baby. Look at this. So that heartbreaking situation, that troubled situation was turned into joy. Maybe if you're going through a similar situation, maybe you don't know what to do. Maybe you don't know where to hide, where to go, what to do in this situation. Give your problems to Jesus. He will take care of it. He'll mend your broken heart. He will mend your problems. He'll fix it, whatever be it. Then Moses, even though he had stammering, he had a stuttering problem. That is a big problem. It might have caused him a heartbreak. Maybe he was ridiculed by other people. But still, God chose him to lead the Israelites back. So that is the way that God chooses. When man despises, a man says that you are not qualified, maybe you have this problem, maybe you are not the kind of person that we are looking for, but still there is hope. So God chose a stuttering Moses and transformed him into what he became. Similarly, my dear friends, let not your heart be troubled. Look at the life of David, the small shepherd boy, who was just charged to look after his father's sheep. He was in the wilderness. He was in the jungles. He was in the forest, looking after the sheep. He was just a shepherd boy. But think of the situation. He was lonely. He was alone in a jungle or a forest. There was nobody to talk to him. There was nobody to SMS him. There was nobody to text him. There was nobody to call him. So he was unreachable. He was in a forsaken place. But he took solace in praising the Lord. He had a harp. He had a small instruments. He gave praise unto the Lord. So even when he was lonely, even when there was nobody to look after him, when there was nobody to even think about him, he looked upon the face of God. And God loves worshipper, and God indeed loved him. And God chose to make him a king from a mere shepherd boy. God transformed him. So he was prepared for that. So he had to undergo some preparations in his life. There were some obstacles. A lion came, he tore it up. Similarly, a bear came, he did the same with it. So this was all a practice session for David, because he had greater challenges in his life. Goliath, he came to wage war with the Israelites. He was mocking the God of Israel for 40 days and 40 nights. King Saul was perplexed. He did not know what to do. His generals were stunned. His strong army, they looked like just ordinary people. They lost the will to fight. They lost their courage. They were terrified. They were petrified. At this time, the shepherd boy, who just came to see his brothers, to give them some food, this small boy, he did not look at the problem and say that, oh, what a big problem. He did not look at the size of Goliath and say that, oh, what a giant. But he was anointed. He thought about his God, and he said that, who is this Philistine to come and challenge the Lord of hosts? He knew how big his God was. So he was courageous. He instilled courage into the perplexed Israelite army. So he volunteered for this kamikaze mission. He volunteered for this counter strike. So he had 5 stones that he picked up from the brook. He took one and he launched it as a missile into the forehead of Goliath. It sunk on his forehead and it fell down flat. And David ran and took the sword of the Philistine Goliath and he slaughtered him. So God can choose anyone. So he doesn't look for the qualified. He chooses you and he qualifies you. You might not be ready for battle, but he trains you in your day-to-day life. Just like God chose an ordinary person like David, a shepherd boy, and made him into a king, mighty king, a courageous king, a man of valor. Similarly, God can transform your life. So let not your heart be troubled by the situations that you're going through. Do not worry. Do not worry. Do not fear. Fear not. Now let's look at the case of Gideon. He was also a person. Maybe he was fearful. Maybe he was lonely. Maybe he also wanted to prove a point. When the Philistines came and took away the harvest of the Israelites, he secretly threshed the floor. But God saw him. What did God call him? Not call him a coward. Called him a mighty man of valor. So he was trained for battle. He was able to root out his enemies because the Spirit of God was upon him. Look at the case of Samson. The Spirit of the Lord was upon him and he was able to do mighty exploits for the Lord. You might be you might not be a muscle man. You might not be a strong man. You might be a slim guy. But with the Spirit of the Lord, you'll be able to do much, much more things. So let not your heart be troubled. Now let's look at the case of other characters in the Bible. Joshua, he was an ordinary person who was just accompanying Moses, but God chose him. The Spirit of the Lord was upon him, and God made him a mighty general. He was able to stop the sun so that they could finish the exploits of the battlefield. So that is the transformation that God made in the life of Joshua. Now let's look at other characters in the Bible. Look at Joseph. He was a small boy. He was his father's pet child. He was just roaming around in his home, looking after the things in the home. He was very dear to his father. So even though he had other brothers, his father favored him. He gave him a special robe, a multicolored robe, which the brothers they felt aggrieved about. They felt jealous about Joseph. They plotted against him. They somehow wanted to eliminate him. So they made a plan, they hatched a plan. So deep in the forest, they made a murderous attempt. Then they rethought about it. Finally, they decided to abandon him in an abandoned well somewhere in a remote place. So the same brothers who were supposed to protect him and to look after him, they conspired against him because they were jealous. So he was thrown into the pit. Then they had an idea. They thought about selling him for a profit. So when they sold him to the Ishmaelites, but God used that to transport him to his promised land. He was transported to Egypt. So Joseph, he received a lot of dreams that his brothers, his parents and everyone will bow to him. But there was no way that could have happened if Joseph was still in his home under the care of his parents. He had to go through adversities. He had to go through several trials or tribulations or unforeseen circumstances. You might have thought that these things are, maybe what's the use of going through all these troubles, these hardships? These are not planned things. These were surprises in his life. These were negative surprises in his life. Then he was transported to Egypt and he was serving the Pharaoh. But there were some false accusations against him. He was trapped in some false cases. Are you going through some false cases in your life? Then I'm talking to you. So he feared God. So when he had a chance to do adultery, he escaped from that place. He left his robe and he ran for his life. But still, he was accused of, in present day, rape. He was accused of maybe a grievous offense. And he was put in prison. Joseph might have thought, oh, what is happening in my life? Why am I being falsely accused? Why are there false cases against me? What is going on? What wrong did I do? I did not do anything wrong. But still, why am I in this place? So he might have been heartbroken. He might have been troubled. But the message is the same. Let not your heart be troubled. Then he relied on some key persons, maybe in the prison, so that he thought that maybe they would recommend him. Maybe they would be helpful in seeing to that he is released from prison. But they forgot him. Maybe you are also in a similar situation. The people who thought would help you, maybe they are nowhere to be seen. Maybe you thought that maybe such and such people they will help you, but they forgot him. But the good news is that there is a God that remembers his promises. So if you have received a promise from God, then do not worry. Because the God we serve, he is not a man that he should lie. So whatever God has promised in your life will come to pass. It might not be today, might not be tomorrow, maybe it's a few years from now on, but still, the promises of God are yea, and amen, and it will come to pass. So let not your heart be troubled. So Joseph, he had the gift of interpreting dreams. So he interpreted the dream of the king. So that was his place for promotion. So you can say that Joseph, who was in his father's home, was promoted to a pit or a well. From that well, he was taken as a slave by the Israelites. Then he was in the Pharaoh's household. He was falsely accused. He was promoted to a jail. How can you say that? It's a promotion. Then from the jail, again, he was taken to interpret the king's dream. He was finally made the prime minister. So he was pulled from the pit and elevated as the prime minister of Egypt. Or you can say he was the second in command, and he was highly elevated. So if God has promised something to you, do not worry, let not your heart be troubled, it will surely come to pass. Now let's look at the other characters in the Bible. Esther, you know the story of Esther, you know the story of Mordecai. Esther was a praying woman, and her prayers were answered. And the wicked plans of Haman against Mordecai and his people, when they prayed to God, God delivered them. The Hamans in your life, they might make several plans against you. They might devise several plans against you. They might think of maybe tying the noose around your neck and to ultimately hang you. The Hamans, they may be able to prepare the gallows, but it is ultimately God who decides who is hanged in the gallows. So Haman was hanged in the same gallows that he prepared for Mordecai. My dear friends, let not your heart be troubled. So you will not die, you will not perish, you will live long, you will live a fruitful life. You will live life until you are satisfied. The God we serve, He loves you. My dear friend, now let's look at the case of Daniel. He was a praying man. He prayed 3 times. Daniel, he was a good guy. Maybe you can call him, maybe he was an ambassador or he was a diplomat. He was holding a high office. But still, there were people who were inimical against him. They tried to overthrow him. They plotted against him. They were jealous against him. They went and told something against Daniel to the king. So he was sentenced to death. So literally he was put in the lion's den. So Daniel was thrown as food for the hungry lions. So his enemies and everyone who plotted against him were happy. They thought that, yeah, they succeeded and this is the end of Daniel. So when Daniel was in the lion's den, what happened? Everyone thought that he would have been devoured by the lions. But the God of Daniel, the God who answered his prayers, he rescued Daniel. He shut up the mouth of the lions. And Daniel was still there. But none of the lions dared harm him. He was divinely protected. The next day, the king came and asked, Daniel, are you still alive? And he was shocked to find out Daniel was alive and well. The God of Daniel delivers you. The same God can deliver you from a similar situation. Maybe you are in the lion's den. Maybe you are in a similar situation. Maybe you are in prison. Maybe you are in a life-threatening condition. Whatever be it, the God we serve is faithful enough to deliver you. So let not your heart be troubled. Now let's look at the case of Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego. These Hebrew boys, these people, they were zealous for the Lord. They took a stand that they will not bow before any idol. They served the living God. They took a stand. If God delivers them or not, they will still continue to serve the Lord. The three people, Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego, were put in the fiery furnace. If someone is put into a fiery furnace, it is highly explosive. They would be burned or charred to death within a matter of minutes. But the God they served entered into the fire, into the raging inferno. Not only that, he came into the midst of the fire, and no harm happened to Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego. They were unscathed. The fire could not devour them because they were God protected. The God we serve, even though you are going through a similar situation, maybe you are going through a fiery furnace in your life, let not your heart be troubled. He is faithful to deliver you. He can come right into the midst of that fiery furnace in your life, and He will protect you. You will not be burned. You will not be charged. You will come out alive from that fiery situation. And I declare and decree in the name of Jesus, let the same thing happen to you. You will not be consumed, because the God you serve is a consuming fire, and He will protect you. He will deliver you each and every time. He will deliver you from the conspiracies of people. He will deliver you from jealous people. He will deliver you from your enemies. He might deliver you from your plotters. Whatever be your situation, we serve a living God who is powerful enough to deliver you from whatever situation be it in your life. This is the story of each and every character in the Bible. They were going through different or difficult situations, but still there was a living God who answers each and every time. Call unto me and I will answer you. Jeremiah 33:3 says that. Call unto me and I will answer you. So definitely we have a living God who is alive and well, and He will answer you each and every time. My dear friends, let not your heart be troubled. Whatever be the lack in your life, we have a God who is rich, who can supply you abundantly, beyond your imaginations. He has plans for you. It's not to harm you, but to prosper you. So this is the good news we preach. So once again, let not your heart